In June of 2022, a horrific tragedy unfolded in Alton, Illinois, as 22-year-old Lisa Dodd, 8 months pregnant with her first child, was brutally murdered by her boyfriend, DeAndre Holloway. What should have been the joyful anticipation of welcoming a new life into the world was tragically turned into a nightmare. Lisa's life was violently taken away, along with the life of her unborn daughter, affectionately known as Baby Bean. This heartbreaking event has left her family in devastation, but the pursuit of justice has brought some measure of closure. The brutal murder of Lisa Dodd. Lisa Dodd's life was abruptly stolen from her, leaving her family and friends in a state of shock and sorrow. Described as a vibrant and compassionate young woman, Lisa had dreams of becoming a mother and creating a future with her child. Tragically, all of that was shattered when DeAndre Holloway, a man with a history of abusive behavior, murdered Lisa in a senseless act of violence. Reports indicate that Holloway and Lisa's relationship had been volatile, marked by an on-again, off-again dynamic and, most concerning, instances of physical abuse. Despite efforts from Lisa's family to intervene and protect her, the relationship's toxicity continued. Holloway's actions on that fateful day were nothing short of monstrous. He not only killed Lisa, but he also decapitated her and disposed of her head in a trash can, making it one of the most savage and gruesome murders imaginable. Following his arrest, Holloway pled guilty to charges including first-degree murder, intentional homicide of an unborn child, and concealment of a homicidal death. Despite his admission of guilt, his actions still sent shockwaves through the community and the justice system. A plea deal was struck, sparing Lisa's family the agony of a lengthy trial, but Holloway's sentence was far from light. He was sentenced to 60 years in prison for his horrific crime. A family's pain and the quest for justice. Lisa's mother, Heidi Null, was the one who discovered her daughter's lifeless body. After a failed attempt to reach Lisa by phone, Heidi went to her daughter's home to check on her. What she found was beyond any mother's worst nightmare. In the face of this unimaginable pain, Heidi displayed incredible strength. She recalled the moments with quiet emotion, grateful that she wasn't in the room long enough to witness the full brutality of the crime. The relationship between Lisa and Holloway had been troubled for a long time. Over the course of their tumultuous relationship, Lisa's family had tried to protect her from Holloway's controlling and abusive nature. They even went so far as to change phone numbers and try to sever ties between the two. Unfortunately, Lisa was an adult, and there was only so much they could do to intervene. The abuse escalated over time, and it became clear that Holloway posed a significant threat to Lisa's safety. Despite the family's attempts to protect her, Lisa was ultimately unable to escape from the clutches of the man who would take her life. However, the justice system has ensured that Holloway will not be able to harm anyone else. His 60-year sentence guarantees that he will spend the rest of his life behind bars, and he will never again be a threat to another person. Lisa's legacy, a compassionate and giving soul. While the circumstances of Lisa's death were devastating, her life was one filled with love, kindness, and a deep sense of compassion. Her family fondly remembers her as a joyful and caring person, someone whose smile could light up any room. In her obituary, they described her as a happy-go-lucky daughter, sister, niece, and friend. Her life was a testament to the power of kindness, as she touched the lives of everyone around her with her warm heart and selfless spirit. One of the most touching aspects of Lisa's life was her love for animals. At just 10 years old, she chose to forego birthday gifts in favor of organizing a fundraiser for the Riverbend Humane Society. She had a special place in her heart for animals, and that compassion extended to people as well. Lisa's mother recalls an incident where, while driving, Lisa stopped to assist an injured pedestrian, offering comfort and calm until emergency responders arrived. In another instance, Lisa gave money to a homeless man, demonstrating her unwavering kindness even when her family advised against it. Lisa was also very excited about becoming a mother. She had been eagerly anticipating the arrival of her daughter, and she and her family had already started planning a baby shower. Tragically, the day that was meant to celebrate the life of her unborn child instead became a day for her family to mourn her loss. Her family had envisioned a joyous occasion, but it was overshadowed by the horrific crime that stole her life. The road to healing. The road to healing for Lisa's family has been long and painful. The emotional trauma caused by such a violent loss is not something that can be easily overcome, and for Heidi Null, the process of grief is ongoing. While the legal proceedings have provided some closure, the pain of losing a child is something that cannot be undone. For Heidi, Lisa is a constant presence in her life, and she continues to honor her daughter's memory through small acts of remembrance. Each year, on Lisa's birthday, Heidi decorates a memorial bench and tree in a local park, where people can stop by and remember Lisa's kindness and the life she had ahead of her. The grief of losing a child does not simply disappear, and for many parents who experience such a loss, it becomes a part of their identity. Experts in grief counseling often suggest that families cope by creating lasting tributes to their loved ones and finding ways to keep their memories alive. Studies show that acts of remembrance, like Heidi's tradition of decorating the bench for Lisa, can help alleviate the sting of loss by fostering a sense of connection with the deceased. Though Lisa's life was tragically cut short, her family continues to carry her spirit with them, using their grief as a means to celebrate her life and share her story with others. The impact of domestic abuse. Lisa's tragic death serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of domestic abuse. The relationship between Lisa and Holloway was riddled with red flags, but due to the complexities of abusive relationships, Lisa struggled to break free. Domestic abuse often begins subtly, with emotional manipulation, control, and coercion, before escalating to physical violence. In many cases, victims of domestic violence experience isolation, making it harder for them to seek help. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, more than 12 million men and women are victims of domestic violence each year in the United States. Lisa's story is a stark example of how abuse can spiral out of control and end in tragedy. Tragically, many victims like Lisa feel trapped in these situations due to fear, love, or the hope that their partner will change. It's essential that communities and families recognize the warning signs and intervene early, offering support and resources to those at risk. The rise of awareness campaigns and support networks for victims of domestic violence has been crucial in the fight to reduce these crimes. Legal measures such as domestic violence restraining orders have also proven effective in helping victims escape abusive relationships. Yet, as Lisa's story shows, the fight is far from over, and continued efforts are needed to prevent further tragedies. A life remembered. Lisa Dodd's life was tragically cut short by an act of senseless violence. But despite the horror of her death, she is remembered for her kindness, her love for animals, and her bright, giving spirit. Her legacy lives on through the memories of those who knew and loved her, and her story serves as a reminder of the importance of compassion, selflessness, and standing up against abuse. Lisa may have been taken too soon, but she will never be forgotten. The brutal actions of DeAndre Holloway cannot be undone, but his conviction ensures that he will never harm anyone again. For Lisa's family, the road to healing is just beginning, but they find comfort in knowing that justice has been served and that Lisa's life was not in vain. Though they can never replace the loss of their beloved daughter, sister, and friend, they will continue to honor her memory and cherish the love she shared with them during her short but meaningful life. If you found Lisa's story moving and believe in the importance of kindness, justice, and standing up against abuse, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more impactful stories. We truly appreciate your support in helping spread awareness and giving voice to those who can no longer speak for themselves. Until next time, stay compassionate, stay strong, and thank you for being a part of our community.